Hello. So today's lesson is on the summary judgment procedure. So first things first, what is a summary judgment? A summary judgment is a judgment that is granted in favor of a claimant summarily without the court going through a full trial. Now, you know, a full trial entails basically exchange of pleadings, calling witnesses, the witnesses testifying, having their testimony questioned, cross-examined by the opposing party, and then the exchange of final addresses and the court giving its judgment. But with summary judgment, the court does not go through the whole process of trial. The court simply considers the findings of the parties, and based on that, the court gives its judgment. And so you see that summary judgment is used in circumstances where the claimant believes that the defendant does not have a good defense to the claimant's claim. Now, under the rules of court, we see it provided under Order 11 of the Abuja Rules and Order 13 of the Lagos Rules. However, under the Abuja Rules, we also have another summary procedure, which we call the undefended list procedure. All right, it's also a summary procedure that's available to the claimant where the claimant believes that the defendant has no good defense to the claimant's claim. However, there are very slight differences you would find between the summary judgment procedure we have under Order 13 of the Abuja Rules and the undefended list under Order 35 of the rules. And let's just see what some of those differences might be. Now, whereas summary judgment is used in any instance where the claimant believes the defendant does not have a good defense, you'd find that the undefended list procedure is used only for suits involving the recovery of debts and liquidated money claims. All right, so it's strictly used in those circumstances where it's about recovery of debt. Now, another difference we find is that with the undefended list procedure, it can only be by writ of summons. All right, the action can only be commenced by writ of summons. Whereas with the summary judgment procedure, it could be by writ of summons, it could be commenced by originating summons, depending on the nature of the claim in question. And you find that with the undefended list procedure, all the claimant has to file along with his writ of summons is an affidavit in which he would disclose the facts on which his claim is based and also assert that he believes that the defendant does not have a good defense to his claim. Whereas with the summary judgment procedure, along with the writ of summons or originating summons that's been filed by the claimant, he would also file those documents, those processes that ordinarily must accompany the originating process, all right? So accompany the writ of summons or originating summons, as the case may be, all right? So those are certain key differences between the summary judgment procedure and the undefended list procedure. And it goes without saying that another difference we have is that while you have only summary judgment under the Lagos rules, you have summary judgment and undefended lists provided under the Abuja rules. All right, so these are the summary procedures we find under the rules of court. So instead of going through the full motions of a lengthy trial, the court could just look at what has been filed and based on that, give its judgment. So at the end of the suit, the court could, if the court finds that indeed the defendant does not have a good defense to the claim that has been made by the claimant, then the court would enter judgment in favor of the claimant, and that means it's over, that judgment is final. it can only be appealed against. And if, on the other hand, the court finds that the defendant has a good defense to the claim that has been made, then the court will grant the defendant leave to defend that action. And if the court finds that the defendant has a good defense to a part of the claim, but not to the other part, the court could grant judgment in respect of the part to which there isn't a good defense and grant leave to defend the other part. So I hope you've learned a bit about summary judgment today. I'll see you another time. Bye for now.